Now we are to the interview portion of our show, which is where the consequences and rewards of hot matches comes in. The winner, who was the last person talking, will start the interview. Then every few minutes, the rest of us will join second place, third place, and last place, and so on until we are all on screen. And with that, who do we got on the show today, Dan?
Well, for my third win as speaking of Schmodown champion, I am proud to announce Amaru Moses.
What up? I'm doing well. I'm doing real well. Glad that that match is finally out. No matter how it was released, but I've been holding on to this for a minute now, so I'm glad everybody got it.
I gotta say, when I first saw that match, and then Christian and Mark said there's not gonna be any sound, but we're gonna comment. I'm like, oh, this is going to be interesting. I knew that this was going to be interesting. Regardless of the outcome, I knew this was going to be interesting. But, hey, I would have liked to see the answers. But you can tell by reading your lips, you could tell that you had some of the right answers. I guess my question is, are you prepared to face Saul at Collision?
I am geeked. I am so geeked to play Saul during Collision. His yelling and his screaming and all that just makes me happy. Like, I just like seeing the man go off. I was a fan beforehand. I'm more of a fan now. So just to be able to let him just go off, and I'm gonna smile and laugh the entire time. I'm really excited. We are going to have a great match. We're not going to drop too many points. And I really want to see how I stack up against him and how he stacks up against me.
Yeah, I'm hoping to see both of you going perfect, because I've been feeling every individual score from every person. No one has been perfect. For both competitors have not been perfect in IG. So I want to see that perfect whatever. If it's a 5-round match, I think it would be 44-44. And I don't count overtime scores. So whatever that score is, you're right there. Who would you, if you do win the title match, if you face maybe either Mike or Chandru, which one would you prefer to face?
I'll definitely have a lot of fun facing either one of them. With Chandru, I just want to help him get some rhythm. I want to help him learn how to clap on the 2 and the 4.
Yeah, doing that it's
just help him out a little bit, but. If I had to choose, it's I don't think it's a 5-rounder. I think number 1 contenders, though the tournament number 1 contenders have been fine. This wasn't really a tournament, so I think it's just going to be a 3-rounder.
Yeah.
I want to play Mike. It's different when like playing Chandru. Chandru is still somewhat a new guy. Mike is the old guard, and it's going to hit. If I get to play Mike, it's going to hit hard. I'm in the Schmodown if I got Mike across the desk from me going at it with him. So I'd be really excited to play either of them. However, I couldn't look past Moose thinking about Saul, so I can't look past Saul thinking about Mike and Chandru, because Saul is a very big barrier in front of me that I plan on knocking down. But I am focused on him.
Go ahead, Dagan.
Hey, Amaru, it's good to meet you, man.
Nice to meet you.
Congrats on your big win there. I know that it's tough with all the technical difficulties and everything, but they made the best of it what they could, and you still put on a hell of a performance against Moose. So this is a big match. Not just because it's a number 1 contender match and everything, but it's the first match back in studio since COVID and everything. So, that's pretty huge. And so my first question to you is how excited are you to be getting back? As a rookie, this is your kind of like your first match, it's in studio and everything in that format. So what is it going to be like playing in the studio? And do you think that gameplay will be sort of affected by not sort of playing from your couch and being able to kind of study up to the last minute and everything like that?
So I'm going to be really excited. Gameplay, I don't think gameplay is going to be very different. It's really the same. You focus in on the questions. You kind of block out everything around you, and you really just focus on what can you answer? What can you answer? What can you steal? The best competitors don't really they strategize against their opponents, but they don't really focus on their opponents. They focus on what do I know? What questions can I answer? And as much as you want to look for the perfect round, going perfect isn't the goal. Winning is the goal. So finding out what's going on during the match and playing off of that, knowing whether or not you can afford to go to multiple choice, knowing how many points, like in the match against Moose, after coming after him coming out of round 2 and I was only down 1, I knew I could afford for him to get a 1-point steal. I didn't want him to because I wanted to be up 5 by the end. So when I gave up that 1-point steal, I was like, okay, well, I have to answer this right, and hopefully I can get it for 2, but I must get it for at least 1. Because if I don't, well, I got to answer my 5 no matter what. But I couldn't pull the 2-pointer. So I was like, well, I'm going to answer this for 1. It's not going to matter whether I get this right or wrong because I got to answer my 5. But in terms of being in studio in general, I'm going to say this a lot over this weekend, over the next month until it releases. March 20th, 2016, Hollywood Game Night. This is not my first time in front of the lights answering pop culture trivia. This is not new for me.
Okay.
It is not going to be new for me. I know how to deal with the lights. I know how to deal with people yelling and clapping and doing all that. It's not new. So that is not going to throw me in any way, shape, or form.
Well, Amaru, my question is, it stems from Dagan's question about the in-studio aspect. There are certain competitors now who've never, ever played with buzzers. It's all been fast money, 10 questions in 60 seconds. How do you think the buzzer is going to throw a wrinkle for people like you who have never done a buzzer and other people as well?
Luckily, I don't think I'm going to have a buzzer this one, but I am going to, when I get to that championship match, if it's in studio, I am going to have to deal with it. That is one thing that is going to be like, okay, that's probably the one aspect when I get to that point, that's going to be like, all right, this is the one where you really need to hone in and decide, am I going to answer? Am I going to let him answer? Am I going in as quickly as possible? And I'm leaving it. The way I've kind of approached this first year Schmodown is really just going in and not worrying about my first time. Getting the win, see how it feels. Your first time for anything is going to be kind of like the feeler. And then after that, you know what to do now. Go ahead. You let my knowledge allow me to get the win. But gameplay wise, if it's the first time I got to do it, go ahead. First time I got to do it. If I make a mistake, I make a mistake. Don't let it throw me off. So
I just have one follow-up question. So have they confirmed that there are going to be buzzers once the live studio matches start up again?
I'm pretty positive that when they do a championship for a 5-rounder, it's going to be buzzers for the speed round.
Okay.
Christian has confirmed that. Yeah.
Okay. I wasn't aware. So luckily I figured out the program to simulate a speed round with the buzzers.
Nice.
Hey, Amaru, thank you for being here. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing well. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.
That was a great match. It didn't bother me at all that there was no audio from the actual match. As you can see over my shoulder here, I'm a baseball fan. I grew up listening to the baseball games on the AM radio with my grandpa and my dad as a kid. So that's kind of what it reminded me of. I had no issues whatsoever. Now, I'm going to ask you something, and as you're answering, I'm going to bring someone up on screen here who you know very well. You said you're going to laugh and have a good time with Saul. Now, that's all well and good to say, but like, okay, there are some characters who are intimidating in the Schmodown. But Saul, I can say firsthand, acknowledge, Saul is as intense off screen as he is on screen about the Schmodown. So that intensity, it's not an act, it's not a character move. Do you still think, is there any level of intimidation here for you?
The man is intimidating, period. And like, it's going to be intimidation as far as, Dan Murrell is intimidating because of his knowledge. as Ethan is intimidating because of his knowledge. Saul is intimidating because of his knowledge. That's the thing that is like, if I'm intimidated by anything, it's his knowledge. But intimidation or being an intimidating person does nothing but fuel me to have to just enjoy myself that much more, because it makes me step up to the challenge. It makes me step up to doing better. Moose went perfect besides the bonus. So that made me step up. Like, I need to make sure I'm coming in strong and I'm ready to go. We both came out with a true perfect first round, the both of us. So him having the intimidating personality period is just I'm gonna thrive off of that. And it's just the more he goes at it, the more I'm gonna laugh and the more I'm gonna enjoy myself. So
I can't wait. Paige, what do you think is going to happen in this match? Do you have any predictions? Oh, for our audio listeners, Paige for Betty just jumped on screen.
Hey everyone.
Hi,
I mean,
Paige.
listen, I know Rue's knowledge of the game and just knowledge in general of the Schmodown. So for me, I mean, he's known as the silent assassin. So, I mean, nothing's going to intimidate him. It's him against the questions. That's how we play for the suspects. It's us against the questions. We don't care who we're playing at the end of the day, because we're just focused on the questions and what we know and what we can do to win. So
Yeah.
I'm not worried at all for my man. Let's just say that.
Wait, your nickname is the Silent Assassin.
it is officially now, I believe, Silent Assassin, which is hilarious because I am far from silent, but I am an assassin, and I am loving that nickname because I take it more as a, like, I look sweet and nice and kind, but I will silently snipe you while I get to smiling as I smile in your face. I said it. That was one of the things I said in my promo, or not my promo, in my audition. Like, I love coming in here and just be able to just like take jabs at you, and you love it, and you love it. So I'm here for it.
Yeah, Amaru, I want to point something out. On your match. You know, I'm saying this, like, nowadays opponent's choice isn't as deadly as it used to be. You know what I mean? Especially in IG. And when you spun opponent's choice and he gave you fantasy sci-fi, what was going through your mind when you spun it? You're like, oh dang, what is he gonna give me? And then when he gave you fantasy sci-fi, were you like, oh, you messed up? Or like, okay, I gotta navigate this by using the check down. If I know, but I'm gonna use the multiple choice if I got to. Because you saw him completely like flub Middle Earth, which I think was egregious, because no offense, it's one of the core main IG categories. If you don't know your hobbits and your elves, then why are you here? Like, I've designated a couple like that are like the Star Trek, Star Wars, Middle Earth, Marvel, DC has changed. But like, if you don't know Middle Earth, like, get your life together.
I'll start with this. I will say that is one of the harder rounds of Middle Earth I've seen. You get an Oscars question for one. Oscars is not something you're really, really like truly diving deep into.
Yeah, that's what like single players look for. Is like Oscars. IG are looking for characters and things in the background of the movie. So
1978 Lord of the Rings is very easy to forget. It is very easy to be like, oh my gosh, I forgot 78 is in this. And the first question we both got wrong. So the first question, well, what was the Witch King of Angmar's last words? And me and him were on the same wavelength. He said, no man can kill me. I was like, okay, that's cool. And they said it was wrong. And I was like, wait a second, what? So I ended up saying no man can defeat me. Like, maybe it's a switch up. And we both forgot that he says die now right after that. So the answer is die now. And those are his last words. And me and him were both like, you're right. He does say that after the iconic line that everybody remembers. Yeah. So I will say it was one of the harder Middle Earth, and it's getting deeper. That's how it's going. In terms of opponent's choice, I would like to say somebody did point out that I believe I have the record for most points in the 3-round IG match with 30. I'm more going 30 points with opponent's choice. That's what I'm happy about. Because me and Sam got off and we're like, is that the highest somebody scored off of opponent's choice? But I will say this about that. When I saw opponent's choice, I knew exactly what he was giving me. When I saw it hit opponent's choice, I was like, of course, because now 2 rounds in a row, I'm going to get the one and only slice that I want the least. Because even if you love every single slice, there's your favorite and there's one at the bottom. Even if you feel comfortable with every single one, I have yet to hit a slice that I will murder. So when he gave me that, I was like, I'm only down one. I got room to play. I knew what he was going to give me, so I made sure, especially you saw those first couple of questions, I made sure I had a good enough knowledge to be able to carry me through. And when it hit opponent's choice, that's why you saw me give the fist pump, because it was like, of course I'm going to get opponent's choice. I get to show that there isn't much you can do to get me rattled or to put me in a hole. So,
are you looking for just an Intergeekdom or the whole league overall? Because I literally have like opponent's choice and the category on my spreadsheet. If you want to know that right now,
I Intergeekdom for sure.
Okay.
I would assume if it was Intergeekdom, it might be a good chance of singles too, because we get more questions. But I know me and Sam were wondering whether or not that was a top for.
I could answer that to you right now if you can.
because I think
everyone else you can ask questions.
No, because I think Clee got opponent's choice against Sabrina, and she gave her Harrison Ford, and she went perfect. So like, yeah. So
let me get back to you on that. I'll find that out really quickly.
Well, yeah, you're the number guys, Double D. I'm just saying random nonsense.
Well,
Yeah.
while Double D is doing that, I got a quick question for it. It's basically, I earlier in the season I asked the few of the top Star Wars competitors on each show, like, do you feel like you have to go perfect in Star Wars in order to win the title? And similarly with IG, I mean, we haven't seen anybody go perfect, but do you feel like going perfect would win you? I mean, it obviously would win you the title, but at the same time, we've seen players go perfect and still check down to multiple choice and lose. So what do you think like the ratio is right now in IG in terms of like having to get almost every single question right?
Luckily, I don't think we're at the Star Wars level yet. I think Star Wars level, you can't really miss a question. And if you miss a question, you better hope it's a hard enough question that your opponent is missing the exact same question. That's really it. IG, I think you have maybe a little more room, but only a little, especially because the new categories are making like the amount of movies we got to watch so many more movies. So you could possibly catch a movie you just haven't been able to get into yet. And the core categories we've had, what up, Peck? The core categories we've had, Middle Earth, they're getting deep enough now that it's getting to the different types of questions. It's getting a lot of quotes. Quotes are a crapshoot. Quotes are completely a crapshoot. And we're getting into Oscars. So I don't think you have to be perfect to win a title. You just can't drop more than maybe a point around. And that's about it. Frenchie, what's going on?
Hey, Amaru. My question is, since it was probably one of the most unique matches we've had in Schmodown history ever, is there a moment during the match you wish people would have heard? You'd be like, damn it, why did it have to go like mute? That would have been perfect, right?
Yeah, I don't know about a moment, but there were a couple back and forths between me and Moose, and actually not even back and forths, kind of like symbiosis where we both had the same reaction to something, and it was really, really cool. And then I cannot give Guy enough credit on how well he's doing on the mic. So the fact we weren't able to hear him on the mic.
There's something he said that you wish would have been heard?
I can't remember too much. I will say I know people were asking for it. There was, it can't be a suspect match without a possible challenge. And me and Sam did have on Moose's 5. We did have I brought him in and I asked him a question about the 5 because I didn't hear it correctly. But me and Sam were able to go back and forth and kind of realize we're not going to challenge. What I heard was something different than Sam heard, and he wanted to bring up something, and I was like, nah, they're not gonna, they're gonna accept it. So like just being able to hear that, like my strategy and gameplay and my ability to work with Sam. I will say Gucci tried it. Fake Gucci Belt tried it when I called Sam in, and he did want to say, are you challenging or not? And I had to push him off. I'm like, bro, I can talk to my coach. Shut up. That I would have loved people to see, because he tried it, but it's not happening. Me and Sam are going to talk, and we're going to figure out whether or not we need to go forward with the challenge or not. So that's probably the one thing that it got edited out of the match because you weren't going to be able to hear it. Mark and Christian weren't going to remember what it was, and it would have been a lot to do. So that's probably the biggest thing I would have liked people to see, because it would have gone more into how I play the game and not necessarily my knowledge.
All right. Well, thank you, Amaru. I'm going to drop out, but it's always a pleasure to see you, my friend.
Yes, sir.
I see Dan. Nope. I've been.
Okay. But I just have the results. I just want to say that. I have the results.
All right. Well, you tell them here in a minute, because I want to ask something of both of these people, actually, concerning your manager. And we were talking about Saul's intensity earlier. Now, before I ask my question, I was talking with Taco earlier this morning in a spirited debate about your manager and his challenges and stuff like that. And I absolutely love it. Being a baseball fan, when I see him do that, it's like I'm watching my team's manager run out on the field and kick dirt on the ump's shoes. It's awesome. But I want to know, is he like when you're in private, there's no recordings around for consumption by the fans? Is he really that intense still in those times, just talking about strategy and stuff like that about the game?
I'll go first. I mean, the great thing that the suspects have is Sam was a champion and he played in the league, so he knows so much knowledge, and he can give us not only the gameplay knowledge but also like the trivia knowledge itself. So that man is, I mean, I don't know if you guys already talked about last night and stuff, but like I was like texting Rue and stuff and Frankie during the whole thing, that like I had to hold myself back in those in the comments last night during the live match, because I was getting heated just as much as Sam was. But the thing with our manager is he has so much knowledge to give all of us and to spread throughout not just our faction but the league, that it helps us so much more and gives us more confidence and praise in a sense to know what we should challenge and what we shouldn't challenge. So
before I answer the question, I want to double down on something Sam said last night. This lady right here is the reason why we're able to like have this run we're on right now. Like the amount of time she is getting us together, she's coming up with questions. Like Sam is not. He wasn't trying to put her anywhere higher than she needs to be. Paige has been killing it for us in terms of making sure we're together, no matter the division, no matter. So I want to. Since she's on, I want to just double down on the fact that Paige has been low-key our MVP this season so far, because she is helping everybody out. In terms of Sam, it's not intensity in terms of like making sure we're on it. It's the passion that he has for us. Like his big thing is 100%. Winning is not our priority. It's doing your best is our priority. Doing your best, our wins will come. And you're seeing it now. Our wins will come doing our best. You cannot answer anything more than you know and putting all it out there. You win, you lose. I am proud of you as long as you are doing your best and putting your best out there. And that's the passion he has out there. And with what he showed yesterday, a lot of people over the last couple of years since Faction started have talked about like, the suspects can't be studying too much. They don't get together, blah, blah, blah. One, Sam is a busy man. So we going in as Sam as a manager knowing we may not be able to get as like daily study sessions, but he's going to be there when we need it. But where he comes through, I am not scared in any way, shape, or form to ask to bring him in ever. Because Sam will go to bat for whatever we feel. If we have something we're having issues with, Sam's like, let me do that. I'm going to do that. I don't care what happens to me. Put that to me, and we'll put that to the higher ups. That kind of knowledge, knowing that not only is he going to be there when we do it, when we're able to have study sessions, when he's been at damn near every single one. But going in, if there is even a little bit of a question, I'm not hesitant to say like, oh, the fans are going to be mad at me. Christian's going to be mad at me. Mark is going to look at me some way. I have no worry because Sam is 100%. Oh yeah, bring me in. Let's go. Bring me in now. You're like, I am your buffer. I am the one in front of you to allow you any question. Challenge 5 questions in a row. I don't care. Bring me in. And that's the thing about Sam that I think he has over the other managers is that knowledge game, being a champion allows you to know you have somebody who has your back 100%.
That's awesome. Dan,
All right, so as for now, we're just talking about opponent's choice matches, so this doesn't factor anything else. But as for round 2 specifically, Kevin Smets has the most points gained in round 2.
Yeah.
But in terms of overall points, the total points, the end match, you have the most in overtime with opponent's choice in round 2 at 30 points. So
hey, let's go.
On that.
Yeah, Rue, I completely forgot. So you had 30 points in your game.
Yeah, I ended up
Look at
with
that, dude.
30 at the end.
And what did you say in your after your first one? I just want to get to 20, and you got 30, bro. So
20 points or more and a win, and I called it and I got it. So there you go.
hell yeah. Dagan, you got something?
Yeah, I mean, you basically just kind of addressed it in terms of, working with Sam and the usual suspects this season. But, I see some supporters. We got Peggy over here in the chat and everything. But how important have kind of your other teammates like an Ethan Irwin or Liz Shannon Miller been to the recent success of the usual suspects? And how are those study sessions kind of with everybody, all those high caliber level talent, balancing out the sort of the not as experienced rookies that you got on your faction?
They've been stellar. Like they 100% honesty, like coming in, the Drews, the Ethans, the Liz, you're like, we have a study session. Do you want to come in? Like, I'm worried that these questions going to be too hard? Or are they going to be too easy? They're coming in, whatever the questions are, they come in. I'm like, oh, that's a great question. I love this question. It may not even be asked in the Schmodown, but I like the knowledge. And being in the study sessions with them have just put us at ease to be like, yo, they're in there with us, and I can tell that they're loving giving us knowledge, and they're getting a lot from us. So it's been great having them in there, and it's definitely boosted. At least it's definitely boosted my confidence. Just having it in there and them loving the fact that when I come up with singles questions, they're loving it. When Paige is just running down so many different questions for everybody. It's been great.
yeah, no, it's so like honestly, like that's the best part about it is the chemistry we have as a faction. I think shows and goes such a long way for our team that like when we're just doing study sessions, it's just fun to be able to hang out with all of each other, and because we're all so different in our own sense too. So we all bring so much to the table, and it's so different because it makes it so much funner, and it just makes it so much calmer too because you're so comfortable that we have champions, we have Inner Geekdom, like we have Star Wars. It's just like so fun that there's so many different people and so much knowledge that we can all bring to the table to help each other, and like personality wise, it just makes it so fun. Like I'm so close to Amaru and Frankie, like since the season started, and like even like Liz and Ethan, like it's just so nice that we all have this like Kamal and this like friendship that I think it shows. And I mean, you guys can see right now what are we on? We're like a 4 or 5 game winning streak right now, like.
Yeah, I think 3.
So I mean, like it's definitely showing, and I think we're coming along the way now. So, I mean,
and also you guys are at like 11. Yeah, I mean, I think you were at like 11 points a week ago, and now you're at 20. So I mean, it's pretty big.
Awesome. We got about 10 minutes left that we're going to use to talk about the pay-per-view match. Paige, Amaru, do you guys want to stick around and talk about that with us? One of your teammates was in that.
I got time. I can stick around for sure.
All right,
I can't wait to talk about this. So let's go.
Yes, this Bateman Irwin contest. Wow, it was really good. There get challenges. Sam doing the kicking the dirt on the umpire's shoes again. I love it. And like you said, that buffer. That's exactly what I see when I see Sam do that. I know I'm rambling about this, but I love it so much. That's why I enjoy matches with usual suspects, because you're going to see exactly what you said. I mean, dude, sometimes Sam might not even agree with you guys, but he's going to go out there and he's going to stand in front of you, between you and the officials, and he's going to tell them why you are right. And that just, I love it so much. We'll start with Paige and Amaru as your teammate was playing. What were you guys thinking as you were watching that match and you're watching your faction start to gain more points?
Oh, I mean, the match was so much fun. Like the night before, like Amaru and like we were all like together, just like shooting the shit and just like running so many questions with each other that it was just like it was very fun, like to have a good time and do that and stuff. But man, our man Ethan knows his shit. Like when people say that man does not study, one, you guys are crazy. The dude lives, breathes movies. He worked in the industry. Like
Still does.
Yeah,
yes,
still-
like it's just like amazing. And we all knew going into this match that it was going to be a tough one. It could have gone either way. I didn't think it was going to go into sudden death because I think at the end of the day that our man Ethan, big time, big Ethan Owen, like knows his stuff. But I mean, unfortunately, with the challenge, I mean, I was texting Frankie and Amaru during the whole thing, and I was going off in the chat, and I was like, I need to hold myself back right now because A, I don't want to get in trouble. B, it's just a game at the end of the day. But I mean, like playing it back and stuff, like with that challenge, I get where they were coming from. I don't even think Ben even knew what was going on at first when Whitman wanted to challenge it and stuff. But I mean, it was a great match. I mean, everyone knows like I talk a bunch of shit about Ben Bateman, but at the end of the day, that man knows his stuff and he's so knowledgeable. So it was just like kudos to both players to even be able to play each other for the first time. It was just like a really cool experience, I think, for everyone to be able to see and stuff. And that big, I mean, Ethan 316 came out on top, which we all knew was going to happen. So
Yeah. And like I'll just add on to this when Ben made that little comment like Ethan must have enjoyed the Tyler Perry movies. And by the end of the second round, me and Paige were like, there's no way he would have missed any of those questions.
Yeah.
Because we know there's no way he would have missed those questions because that's how well we know each other. So it was great. I personally thought it was a very smart challenge. I'm with Sam. If it was the other way around, he definitely would have challenged, but wouldn't have thought it was going his way. And I was just very happy because in that OT, when I had Stone Cold in my head as well. So when he put it and Ben was different, I'm like, I don't think it's Goldberg. I think we got this. I heard our music and I was like, there we go. And as Roberto put it in the chat, Rasheed Wallace said it best. Ball don't lie. Ball don't lie, fam. So
After his 8 technicals.
Let me
Right?
see. Now, this is the first time that I actually liked seeing Sam on screen because for me, Sam's just like, oh, I'm just happy to be here. I'm happy to be here with you. I'm here to support you. I find that completely annoying. It's like I can't deal with it. I can't. I'm sorry. I just can't. But last night when he's like, no, I'm like, yes, I want someone to light a fire. Now, of course, we don't see that much, like you said, but I love seeing that. I love seeing that fire in someone. And seeing it last night with Sam, I was happy. And I even had a chance to talk to him last night with the Q&A portion of it. And I'm like, yeah, this is definitely something I liked. And I asked him like if he changed anything. He's like, no, we just had bad luck, and that's all it was. I'm like, I kind of agree, but just wanted to know if there was anything different because I saw that intensity.
Double D, quick question. Do you like Roxy as a manager?
Not last season, but this season. Well, after Roxy said, Jeff, get your head out of your ass, go win this match. Then I'm like, yes, now I'm on the Roxy train. Actually,
No shade on Roxy at all.
Yeah.
I was just seeing if your sensibilities kind of matched because that statement about Sam was funny.
I think that's definitely more towards
I
Roxy,
didn't
but-
like Roxy with the whole, even though it's part of my segment, the sexy numbers bit, I found that annoying, even though I knew that was the point. But the moment when she went to Jeff, says, get your head out of your ass, go win this match. I'm like, that's what I want. That's the Roxy I want to see more. And so, yeah, I'm happy with Roxy now.
I mean, I mean, you can say what you want, but like with Sam though, like he's so supportive of us. Like that man has our back with anything.
Oh yeah.
So like and I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more from a manager in a sense. Like I literally was emailing him last night, and I was like, it's such an honor to be under him and Rachel's like belt in a sense.
Mhm.
That no pun intended. Like it's just great. It's an honor to be on the Suspects. And that man has our back. That man is very, I mean, you guys don't see it as often. That man is so passionate about the game. Like the stuff he tells us and the stuff we know, like it goes so much more than you see on screen.
Yeah, I just wish I would see more of that because that's the kind of fire I like. That's why I love the Schmodown, is to see that fire. Even when Roca won his beat Dan Murrell back in the day, and he's like, yeah, it's like you can see that intensity, and that's what I love about this game.
I'll tell you this: I don't want to see that fire because it means we're winning. So.
Exactly.
Let's go ahead and get Ferris and Dagan's thoughts on this pay-per-view before we wrap it up, guys. Dagan, you want to go ahead and go first?
Yeah, it's funny. I thought that at one point Sam was gonna ask them to check Ben for sticky stuff, a hat and everything, the glove. But yeah, I mean, this was like a match of the year contender. I think like these two put on an absolute clinic. It lived up to the hype. I still have Demolanta and Damon. The first match, the 51-50 match, is probably my match of the year. But like, there have been a few matches that I feel like have come close to that, and there have been so many different like styles of matches that we've had too this year. So this one, as I said, it lived up to the hype for me. And props to Ethan for pulling out the win. I mean, I said this earlier in the show and on the LGR tailgate last night as well about how important it was for the rest of the factions for Ethan to get this win, because it means that if Bateman had won, it would have been pretty much over for the faction standings. The dungeon would have locked it up because that would have been like a guaranteed 10 or 11 points for them. The 4 points for that match and then another potential 12 for the title match. So
catch up, but I think it wouldn't lock to them.
Right. So it was incredibly important for Ethan to win. I know Sam was kind of saying that he got some fan mail from the other managers just basically saying thank you for doing this, because it salvaged everybody else's season. So I was happy I was rooting for Ethan basically for that alone, but in terms of just like the match itself overall, it was just an absolute classic. So props to your faction for doing what you've done recently. I mean, it's really been an amazing thing to see the sort of comeback that you guys are doing. So
Bears,
yeah,
you get my man.
Yeah, no, like it was another like great pay-per-view. It's like nothing really much to say. Like Ethan went perfect. Bateman missed one question. It was 9-8, and they were tied after the second round. And then the big moments were the challenge and sudden death. It was a great match all around. And man, like Bateman, after the match, he said, "People come to watch me lose." Yeah, we do. We come to watch you lose. That is correct. Because that's what's great about Bateman. He has people who love him. He has people who hate him. Like, I mean, I was told one time by a great philosopher, his name is Howard Stern, if no one has a reaction to you, you're not doing something correct. If someone is, they're okay, you're doing something wrong. You know what I mean? Either someone doesn't like you, someone loves you. And that's what Bateman is. And you know what? I love how Ethan Irwin he's just like always there. He's just always there. No one really ever brings him up. No one ever talks about him. But he's just like always there. He's always in like the number one contenders matches. He's always at the end of tournaments. He's just there. And he just sits there all cool and calm and collected. Like I mean, nothing really fazes me. I'm just here sitting on my leather couch. Probably my wife's making me another toy. I got like probably 8 action figures by now. Oh yeah, I made the nice guys. I am a nice guy. Like I got the samurai bun. Like he's just awesome. Like he's just like he is big time. I call him big time, smooth criminal, Mr. Cold Ice Tray, you name it, give him whatever. Like the man don't really care. Like it is what it is. Like that's why everybody's like, you know what? No offense, I want Ethan Irwin to beat Dan Murrell because like I love Dan Murrell, but like Ethan Irwin, man, he's just like, what's up?
Just love the guy.
It. Yeah, he's just what up? Like,
and that's how he is off camera too. That's like the best part. He really is just like the sweetest man in the world. So
I would love for his wife to make me an action figure. Hey, you make an action figure? I would want one of me.
Well, hey, you never know. Maybe someday. But congratulations again to you, Amaru, for your victory and your upcoming number 1 contender match.
Yeah, I didn't even get to like tell him like. I mean, obviously I've talked to the man, but like, dude, it was nice to actually see the win. So great job, dude. You deserve every bit of it. So.
Oh yeah. And listen up, Mr. Commissioner, or whoever the commissioner is, or whatever Christian's title is. Give Paige for Betty another freaking match already. Come
For
on.
real. Come on. We got to. The Boston Badass. You got to get her another match.
Yeah, you're making us all go crazy here. Amaru, why don't you tell the folks where they can find you at?
You can find me at my name. I'm pretty easy to find. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Amaru Moses. I also am, you can see it here. I write with a crew of writers called Bite Size Breakdown, where we do reviews of movies, television shows, 100 words or less. And then my YouTube channel is Yuri Reviews, URI-RU Views. I have the show called One Gotta Stay every other week, where I give you 4 options, sometimes 5. And instead of picking one that has to go, you can only pick one that gets to stay. And we argue and kind of lash it out. Last week, it was choosing between the franchises of The Incredibles, Toy Story, How to Train Your Dragon, Shrek, or Kung Fu Panda. You can only pick one, and all the other, where everything from the other franchises are gone. It's really fun. And again, on my channel, Yuri Reviews.
Excellent. Paige for Betty, where can the folks find you at, other than kicking ass as a badass in Boston?
Well, I mean, besides on the streets, you guys can find me at Front Page News 9 on Instagram and Twitter.
Hey, that doesn't, I mean, okay, never mind.
Yeah, no, the joke does not go that way, guys. Don't worry. And if it did, I'm a pricey penny just throwing that out there. So
just me, I live in a gutter. Sorry, go ahead.
No, and then I also run my own movie blog on Instagram titled Future Flicks. You guys can check it out there without the C. Other than that, yeah, hopefully you guys see me in the Schmodown soon. I mean, I'm still waiting for my phone calls, so I'd like to contribute to some wins for my faction, because I mean, I ain't complaining that my other teammates are killing it right now, but I'd like to be able to show that I can kill it too. So,
hell yeah. And from Let's Get Ready Network, first time here. Thank you for being here, Ferris. Why don't you tell the folks what you got going on, where they can find you?
Yeah, every Friday, 8 o'clock. Let's Get Ready to Talk Shimoda podcast. I will be bringing back the Highlight Sports Show every Tuesday, probably around 2 o'clock. That's pretty much it. I'm at Ferris Blunt on Twitter. That's where I'm at.
Excellent. Sorry. And Dagan, where can the folks find you at? What do you got going on?
Yeah, you can check me out on Twitter at DaganSB. That's DAGANSB. I got my usual show on Stereo with Corey Cameron. We took last week off because we were both on vacation, but we'll be back tomorrow, 5:30 Eastern, stereo.com/DaganSB, recapping everything that went down this week and last week as well. So be sure to check that out. I also, maybe later today, maybe tomorrow, I'm still working on scheduling yet, but I'm going to be doing a show with my brother who worked on A Quiet Place 2. He was on the crew for that, so we're going to be reviewing that and talking about like what it was like for him working on the set and everything. So keep your eye out for that. I'll post a link on Twitter when that gets figured out for scheduling wise.
Yeah, that's awesome. I want to check that out. Double D, Dan Dolinsky, where can they find you at, bud?
Well, you can find me at Twitter at Dan Dolinsky. Simple as that. You can find me here every Saturday running the numbers, picking a topic, and trying to make sense out of this crazy world that we live in.
Yep, and I'll just say it again. I apologize for blowing up.
Oh, hey, you know what? You leave it in too long, you're going to explode. I know it.
Yep. But I am Jay Wade. You can find me on the Twitter at JWade1134. That's the letter J, WADE1134, and also at the JCast Network on the Twitter. Please like, sub, share, all that good shit here. Let's get this channel to 100 subs, man. We've been lingering in the 8 for a very long time. It's just a shame. It's a travesty. But yeah, everybody. Yeah, I'm not sure who we got next week, but there are other shows on this network. We do a Bachelor show, myself and Sarah, and we also have a Star Wars show on Friday night. So be sure and check those out. And a new show is coming.
Page for Brady.
Yeah. A new show is coming to this channel mid-August that I'm very excited about. I think you guys are all going to like a lot. So I hope so.
It's the fans only web show.
No, it's not that. It's not that. still working on that. I still have to make my bubble gut images and song remix.
Oh, don't go into the details.
I'm telling you, everybody, it's the song Bubble Butt, Bubble Butt, Bubble Butt. Except I'm gonna remix it, and it's in my own fans name or fans only, whatever it is. It's gonna be Bubble Gut, and it's gonna be Bubble Gut, Bubble Gut, and I'm gonna be like playing the drums on my gut and shit in the promo vid. It's gonna be awesome. Look out for that, guys. But until next week, everyone, have a great and safe week. You want to hear something funny? The mic wasn't on that whole time.
No way.
Yeah, for real.
Oh, wow.
So smooth.